This episode of Super GG Radio is brought to you by our Patreon. Patrons of the show can get our Dogs of Super GG Radio newsletter, Super GG Radio stickers to slap on your closest PC or bag, input on what we cover, game nights with the hosts, and even a chance to win a copy of an indie we talked about. Not only that, but 90% of all patron contributions go to the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. Visit patreon.com/superggradio to learn more.
What's good, Internet, and welcome to session 225 of Super GG Radio, where friends chat about video games and all things adjacent. I'm the lean, mean, game-playing machine, Eric Getty Gettinger. I like to imagine that I played a lot of the betas this week, but we'll find out. It's crunch time, my dudes. Gotta pump up those beat list numbers. Looks like Alex is at it.
Hey,
and you know what?
Hey, Getty.
Yeah.
Hey, Getty. Hey, Getty.
With me is famed ASMR reader Alex Arona. Lay it on me.
Hey, Getty. So, I am currently on the tail end of 4 different games. Lengthy games. Games that, once I beat it, will skyrocket me through the beat list.
When you say lengthy, for me, that's 50 hours.
No,
for
lengthy
you,
for me.
That's like,
lengthy for me.
That's
is
like
20.
6 hours. 6
For me, it's
hours
like
is
20.
lengthy for you.
20 is lengthy for me.
That's the rookie numbers. Rookie.
Doesn't matter.
It's
I have
Bush
4
League.
of them. We're not playing the Nintendo main rules. Nintendo main rules, they actually do points.
No,
per
I
hour.
don't. I don't play by their rules either. I play by my own rules.
Which I actually
All
thought
right.
about. Their rules actually make more sense, which is points per hour.
Oh yeah,
On how long to beat.
for sure.
Do you really want to set us up for failure?
No, I don't. I absolutely don't. But I'm just saying is that they have actually like a good, accurate system.
A system,
that I think about.
yeah, that corresponds to effort put in or whatever.
We
Doesn't
need
matter.
the tilt. We need to tilt the metrics in a way that benefits me and Alex more than it does Getty. That's the point.
Should we check those metrics to see if trains are fun?
Look, if if we can measure something and make us look good, and you asked for proof, we can just say that's confidential information. That's proprietary software. You cannot see.
So
I like all this.
yeah, no, yeah. I think I'm more triggered by your ASMR than I am relaxed. So let's toss it over to relaxation and licensed masseur Joel DeWitt.
Yeah, that was unpleasant. But I think if I do either of those things, we're going to have problems with legal and HR. I am neither licensed nor relaxing.
Okay, Joel.
But you'll still do it though. Is really the point.
I don't think that he will.
Like gun to my head?
No, I just
No.
say,
No,
hey
no.
Joel, give me a
All
shoulder
right.
rub.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, see. Do you guys have people at work that just come by and they start doing it to you whether you like it or not?
No,
Oh,
that's
no.
an HR violation, and everyone should be aware of that.
There's one guy, every time, he's like, hey, buddy. Comes over and he tries to get in there, and I'm like,
Oh, no.
no.
No,
Please
yeah,
stop.
that's
Little
Unless
tense,
you have,
aren't
like, a preset-
Yes, I am.
unless you have like a preset like relationship with somebody in that context of comfortability.
No.
I don't know anybody that I have that relationship with.
Probably
no,
Alex.
there's this guy at my work. He's the cubicle next to me named Joe, and every time we pass by each other, his like cubicle be like, "Looking real good today." It's like not in a weird way that both of us. It's just more stupid funny to say that to each other. But yeah,
Did you have to complete that mandatory bystander training for the state of Illinois?
no, not yet. Not,
yeah.
I feel like maybe unless you had
If
done
you
something
say that
you would
and
have
somebody,
to do it.
no, if you say that and somebody else feels uncomfortable, then you can get reported.
What is a mandatory bystander?
It's mandatory is the qualifier that everybody in the state is supposed to take it for certification. Whether you do, I guess that's up to your company. but a bystander is somebody that witnesses something or is present when something uncomfortable happens. I like how I've hijacked this and now I'm talking about
you have, and I've been
HR
part of
violation.
this. I've been there.
This is
like at
not
my
related
company.
to, but the way that these videos start off, it's with the most awkward, uncomfortable thing ever. The one that we had to watch this year was just this guy that straight up goes up to a girl and he's like, "Hey, you're doing pretty good there," and then he just like sniffs her and he's like, and you're smelling good too."
Ugh.
You know what the worst part of that is?
Oh.
You know somebody's done that.
Yes,
Because
somebody, and that's why we have to do the training.
right.
But we work in an office, so we're all just like sitting there watching this, and we're like, "Please don't smell me."
Oh,
And we
see,
don't
now-
sit far enough apart that we're like, "Why?" If you're that close, you're already in trouble.
The
Like,
power
and
play
that's-
is to show up at work just completely unpleasant smelling.
Yeah, it's real gross. It's really unprofessional. I will say that's me and Joe.
You guys smell each other?
He's done that. He's done that to me several times, and I've done that to him for sure.
Wow. Wow. So anyway,
I don't know how we became friends like that.
video game podcast. This week we're gonna shoot everything that moves in early adopters, buy some lottery tickets with the news, then we'll see what comes knocking in the backlog. Sound good? Everybody's ready to video game?
Seems
Let's
like a
do
classic
this.
episode. A classic episode.
A classic episode. Super GG Radio now with 50% less games.
Does that make us new Super GG Radio?
No. Same old Super GG Radio.
Well, I don't know. We could
minus-
do it new, and then eventually we'll have to go back to classic.
Super GG Radio 2.0.
But then go back to 1.0.
No, we'd have to go to 0.5 and then realize that that's still like botching it and then move back to 1.
Okay.
And then later we move to 3. How's
The
that sound?
revamp. Well, I mean, the 3 is we all get like different personalities. Like we all get
One of
like
these-
leather jackets and like slick back hair.
One of these weeks we should just pay 3 random strangers to come in and do the podcast. And then
I mean,
we
that's
label
entirely
it as new
feasible.
Super GG Radio.
We could technically
know
script
3
the whole
people?
thing.
No, we
Do
can't
you think
script
somebody
this.
would pay? Do you think there's somebody on Fiverr that would be willing to do that?
Yes.
yes.
I can almost guarantee it. Okay. Early adopters, where we play alphas, betas, and games. Holy cow, Alex. Did I almost get arrested this week?
Yeah, you did.
Almost.
I
had like
recanted the
2
story to my brother, and he was
2
just
hit
like,
points
"Yeah,
left.
that's pretty classic."
Alex and I played Payday 3, and we almost... I'm really proud of what we did. We almost made it to a non-arrest moment, or like a non-SWAT team moment. We got grouped up with some random guy on the Payday 3 server. He like was doing all this crazy stuff. He somehow like managed to break into the back, went upstairs, snuck past like 3 guards,
All stealth.
stole a key card, and we were so close. Except we, like the last second. I don't know if it was Alex or
No,
if
it was
somebody
so
scripted.
So he like motion like because there's like the ping system is new, so now like in all shooter games, so now there's a ping system, and he pinged this other guard and he's like, hey, go, like it was like telling me to like pickpocket that key card. So I like went up to him and I like grabbed it, but of course he like this guy's doing it smooth. He's ducking guards. He's clinging to walls. He's doing the whole thing so cool. And then he like motions for me to steal a key card. I grab it. The cop instantly notices me, and I was like, "Well, mask up, Cap! shoot, fire,
Yeah.
screams."
Payday 3. So this is a first-person shooter bank robbing simulator.
Yep.
Is there a better way to say it?
No, it's exactly.
You can go through and not fire your gun, but we're bad.
No,
It's a criminal like.
the first like hold on, Joel. You played some Payday with me, right?
I played Payday 2.
Yeah.
with you.
Now, so okay, so see if this sounds familiar. We jump into a match, and I say, "Hey, man, just follow me. Follow and do what I do." And instantly, some guy who's like, "I don't know what I'm doing," puts on a mask and just starts firing randomly at cops. And all of a sudden, I'm like, "Well, Joel, we got to do this now." and then you
Yep.
just run and duck and do whatever the prompts are while also shooting at thousands of police officers.
Yep.
Yep,
Same thing.
that was the first thing. Kenny's like, "Is this what it's like?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty normal."
Well,
Pretty normal
it was
Payday
like, all right,
stuff.
time to case the joint. So you could just like walk into the front door. You can walk around the side. This guy just like walks over by the dumpster, and then he puts on his mask. And Alex is like, "Oh, that doesn't seem like a good idea." And then what? The chat pops up like, "I can't figure out how to take off the mask." And
So I
that
just
was
start
the cue.
blasting.
So anyway, I walked in and I started blasting. This was a stress test on the servers. I didn't encounter too much issue with that. There was a little bit of lag like the first time we booted up, but I guess this is the generic Payday experience. You got your gun loadout. You can use in-game currency to purchase upgrades, new masks, new gear that you can equip, cosmetics mostly. But then you
There's
get
also a
into
lot of
the matches.
put a silencer on your gun, which will do less damage, but it'll be quieter. Do different pieces like that. So there is a reason for this to have like a real kitted out loadout. And then there are also skill points that will allow you to put into like originally like 4 trees, like three skill trees, and then as you level up, you get more skill trees, which extensively act as classes. So
And you had to explain to me how that worked, because you were like, "Oh yeah, I just unlocked this," and I was like, "What do you mean you unlocked that?"
You get all these classes where you can get like the brute force guy who intimidates bystanders, or you could be the hacker who could hack all the cameras. Just different stuff, like the different little pieces like that to make the entire overall experience just like different and varied. Having a hacker will make it so that the security guard in the camera room won't be able to spot you, which is definitely when you're casing the joint. There definitely is a whole part where you don't stand in the camera too long, or else they'll notice you, stuff like that. So the medic will heal, and different boosts. If you're healing, then you get boosted damage, etc., etc.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so
It's complete anarchy.
there's a lot there, and it's exciting. They only had the one the first
Map.
the first basic bank robbery, which is that's mission numero uno for Payday. Is like, okay, what are we gonna do? Okay, bank robbery, mission number 1, and it's actually it's not the same setup, but they're all pretty similar setups as this. They give you like, okay, here's the camera room, here's the bank, here's the back vault, here's this other part, because they want you to like feel comfortable when you're first starting. The one thing new that was here is that if you like, some of the money had like ink packets on it that you had to disable
Yeah.
quick enough, or else all the money would just get ruined. So that was pretty cool. I think that was new. It's been a while since I played Payday 2.
You got me, man.
How does the movement and gunplay feel? One thing I remember from playing Payday, the prior entries, is that it felt very sluggish and slow.
I mean, I was just walking around headshotting everything that moved.
Yeah, Payday's
didn't
actually
feel
got a
too bad.
really generous auto aim. If you just hit the aim button in front of a police officer, it will automatically like magnetize to the head.
Okay.
So a lot of
But-
times the real move is to aim, shoot, like keep unclicking, reclicking, unclick the aim, reclick the aim.
You're talking about like combat itself, though, like aiming, and when you have to fire, it was heavier, or it felt like it was more deliberate. I mean, the weapons that you got were assault rifle and a handgun. I think you could have unlocked the shotgun, maybe a couple of others. Alex kept throwing grenades at me, specifically at me, and he's like, "Oh man, my bad." Like, yeah, okay.
No, there was
But
there was one. The other button was like a heal, like a med kit. So it was like med kit, grenade, med kit, grenade. Which one am I hitting? Okay, med kit. Nope, that's not the med kit. Hey, Getty, watch out, because it's all, there's friendly fire.
Yep. The weapons that were already unlocked were pretty smooth. The thing that was cumbersome was reloading. I found that having to reload did take time, So if you're in the middle of combat, and like a police ninja shows up out of nowhere and kicks you in the face.
Police ninja? Is that?
I'm not kidding.
If you remember, Joel, there is like levels of escalation throughout. Like the longer you're in the mission, the higher the escalation goes for like what kind of cop comes. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, this guy's fully padded out in armor plus a giant riot shield. Well, crap. Or one guy that just tases the crap out of you, and all of a sudden, here are the snipers. The snipers will take you out in 2 shots, et cetera, et cetera. But now they all of a sudden had like stealth units that were in camo tech.
I turned around
ninjas
at one point, and I got drop kicked in the face. And I was like, "Alex, what? The police have ninjas now?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's a normal thing." Like, it's not a normal thing. Like,
I don't know, man. We've been robbing this bank for like 45 minutes. Of course, they're gonna get the ninjas, man.
It wasn't even that long. I think the longest run that we did was like 15 minutes.
No,
so
we got out. We got out once, 1 out of 2.
Well, we got out both times, but the first time we got out with everybody. Oh, yeah. The second time we didn't make it out with everybody.
We were so pinned down, we were dragging ourselves to like the van.
2 HP. I was barely alive.
It was good. Whew. They added a lot more like interactable moments. Things like, oh, the van can't come because they put up a wall. Go turn off the wall. Like, electric fence. Okay, and you got to go find the switch for the electric fence, which is like, a block and a half down the street while the ninjas are attacking you, Okay. And ammo's always a problem. You are just constantly like, well, crap, I'm handgun only now at this point.
At one point I found a room that just had a ton of ammo in it, and Alex just kept going, "Hey man, where are you?" I was like, I'm getting ammo. And then like a couple minutes later, I was still in the same room getting ammo. I didn't run out of ammo that match.
Yeah, no, I was screwed. By the end, I had no ammo. 0. I was crawling to the van. It was brutal.
We did okay.
Yeah.
I think we did okay.
I'm excited because Payday, it's not so much this part. It's more the fact of that, like, they have found a way to keep it varied while also organic. Things like where you have to break into an art museum and steal art. You have to remove all the electric laser fields that are around the paintings before you take them out, et cetera, et cetera. You get some where you're in a mall and you're just ransacking the entire mall, first floor and second floor. They just put a lot in there where, you just get all these different scenarios. I mean, even in that case, like there are harder modes, and the harder modes get ridiculous, but better rewards. And some of even that bank heist one, there is if they're in the harder mode, sometimes what'll happen is your car gets rammed off the road, and you're just then when the game starts, the van is crashed. It's like a separate level. So now the level is a 2-parter where after you rob the bank, now all of a sudden your van's crashed and you're trying to get to a helicopter, but the helicopter's 3 blocks down, so you just got to move and you got to carry the money with you.
Wow.
So they really do find a way to vary it up in a very fun way. And again, it's all like there's friend matchmaking, but like a lot of times I'm just playing with randos, so I'm just here to see what kind of shenanigans we could get into. I'm like, oh, this dude did something I ain't never seen before, and then all of a sudden we got shotgun blasted. So I don't know what happened. It's like, yeah, like seeing what people do and how they play is really fun. So I think this felt like Payday again, and it got me really excited.
I could play this.
Awesome. I mean, I kept trying to get everyone to play Payday 2 because it's just so fun.
It seemed like there was so much, though.
Oh yeah, when I went back to Payday 2, I didn't want to play it. It was too much. You have to now starting from scratch is amazing, and also at the same time, if you want another funny bit, there is hidden backstory lore that unless you don't pay attention to. Some of these levels have like press on this block 4 times and then go flip this switch behind the counter, and all of a sudden you look in the background and there's Godzilla, and there's actually like a story in there that like the Illuminati is raising like kaijus. And in the background of all the Payday games, all 3 Payday games have this whole thing where there's kaiju and Illuminati and all this other stuff.
All right. Well,
but no one's here for the story. No one's actually paying attention to the story. You're there to rob banks, and that's good.
There's a lore video for this, isn't there?
Yes.
He's going to
it's
make
not
you
Matt
watch
Pat.
it.
Oh, okay.
But I have seen. I've researched several lore videos just because I wanted to see the craziness.
Insanity. All right, so Payday 3. Maybe we'll play more.
I'd love to get
Maybe.
a multiplayer Monday going.
Just once.
Yeah.
Just once. Joel, you have to play. You don't get to.
Okay.
You don't get to decide here.
All right.
Don't tell
Is it
Alec he also has to play.
Is it coming to Game Pass?
Good thing he doesn't listen to this.
Me?
No, I don't think it comes to Game Pass.
It is on Game Pass, September 1st or September 21st.
Really?
I'm not gonna
Yes,
get
sir.
Game Pass again for that. It's so much effort.
It's after Liza P.
Yeah, I'll already be well into Lies of P by the time you're playing Payday. So
You said multiplayer Monday. Let's do it.
no, I said.
Okay,
Hi,
so you
Alex.
said okay. It's cool. It's recorded.
I said, "Hi, Alex. Tell me about Just Read the Instructions, Alex."
Just Read the Instructions is another first-person shooter where you are a robot.
I don't know. Are you?
I don't know.
All I know is that the instructor guy, the voice that's giving you instructions during the tutorial, that is definitely an AI voice that's used pretty regularly on TikTok. It's
Yep.
like my ears like perked up. I was like, I recognize this.
These are
Yep.
my people.
So
TikTok people.
Yeah.
And you're shooting waves and waves of monsters and random what look like polygon, like wireframe monsters.
Yep.
And it's wave based. This is just a beta right now. They're still figuring out the story mode stuff, so there really wasn't any story or online multiplayer. But the wave based stuff felt good. You got a rail gun, like a laser rail gun. Then you got a shotgun, which both like the laser rail gun and the shotgun had a fun mechanic that you can vary their power by on the mouse wheel. So you could have a longer range shotgun. But if powering up your shotgun to like 200% was wild to watch, it just blast like there's a gang of like 15 enemies, and you get up close and just blast them with a 200% powered shotgun. Woo, felt good. So yeah, it's right now it's just a wave based shooter. I'm looking forward to there being more, but yeah, the shooting felt good. The weapons were interesting. Those were the 3 I saw, I believe. You have a regular machine gun, shotgun, railgun. Was there another one?
I thought there was like a pistol or something floating around, but
And then
Pistol.
once a weapon is used up, you throw it and it blows up.
Oh, I love
Sure
exploding
does.
weapons.
You do?
yep.
Yeah, that's very Borderlands.
Yep. Getty, what did you think of this one?
I didn't play it.
Oh,
This is a rare game that I didn't get around to. What you said it was available yesterday?
It was available from Sunday till today, or Saturday till today. No, they're saying till next week. So
You had originally said it would be available Wednesday, or maybe you said
Oh.
until Wednesday.
no, Wednesday till Saturday. That's it. I'm very confused.
Okay,
Wednesday till Saturday.
that's why I didn't get a chance to play it.
Cool. Joel, what did you think?
I enjoy my time with it. Like they limit you to just those 2 things: the tutorial and then the stage where you have to pull the batteries off of the light towers and then put them in the trash.
Oh, I didn't even get that.
Did you
You did.
recycle too?
I sure did.
I just did the wave shooter.
Oh no, that was the second level. So it was just like a neighborhood with street lamps, and you'd have to go to the street lamps, pull a huge battery, like comical life-size battery, out of it, drag it over to a dumpster bin, and then do so for all of the batteries, and then put new batteries in all those same spots.
That sounds tedious.
Is it fun?
Well, it was okay. I mean, it's one of those things, at least where it is right now in difficulty, I more or less was just able to sprint back and forth and have to do very little shooting to accomplish the goal on the mission.
Cool.
And that might be just a measure of it's supposed to be just the first mission from what I saw, and that they could just start it on easy. I did like there's like a dash button where it was the right mouse button. I kept on habitually trying to use it to zoom in for the shots. Yeah, so a little muscle memory problem with that. There's also like a portal you can shoot that will take you back to sort of home base. So in the case of this level, they had you in like the Matrix where Neo's choosing his guns kind of thing, with 4 different guns sitting there. They tell you as you're walking through, like, oh, and if you need a safe place, you've got one portal you can use, and it'll take you right back. So it was nice that it wasn't a preset location. It's just sort of like, okay, you can choose your checkpoint when you feel like you really need to, but you better make good use of it because it's only one. So I appreciate that bit of variability in it. But it's a neat thing. I'll be curious to see where it goes from there, and I hope that we continue to see more from this.
Especially with the title, follow the instructions?
Just read the instructions.
Yeah, and see that there's got to be a good story to that.
Yeah, it's a good title. It's kind of like that. What is it? Keep talking and nobody explodes, or
yep, that's classic.
That's a good title too.
Yeah,
nice.
Oh, all right.
Last game?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Last game that we played this week. You guys played this one too. God of Weapons.
No one played this but you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Figures. So this is a game that was available over the weekend, so I did have a chance to play it. Hey, you guys like that Vampire Survivor?
It's all right.
Do you guys like Backpack Hero?
Yes.
It's all right.
All right. So imagine, if you will, I would not say procedurally generated, but a wave-based combat. You are a character. You can pick your class. In the demo that was available, you had a melee class and a like hunter-esque class. Either way, you can pick up the same kind of weapons no matter which class you're playing, but it might vary a little bit. And what it does is your weapons will auto-fire or auto-attack, and just waves of enemies come at you. The crux of it is that you have only 45 to 60 seconds in the wave, so at the end of it, everything disappears. It's the end of the wave, and any experience that you've gained from killing enemies can help to unlock additional slots in your backpack. And like in Backpack Hero, you have to select in your inventory where you want to unlock it. But instead of it being, pick anywhere, it'll just do like random spots around it. So then it becomes an inventory management / wave-based combat game. But it is so simplistic and entertaining. As you're moving around, you're using your dash, and just your weapons are automatically going, so you don't have to worry about reloading or even thinking. You're just trying to stay alive at that point. And then the stuff that you can pick up in the level, there'll be a couple of chests. If you attack them enough, it'll explode, and some of them are damaging to the enemies and you. Some of them contain food, some of them contain money, and then at the end of each stage, you can use your money to purchase new weapons or items to put into your backpack if you have the space. Nice thing is you can sell the items in your backpack if you're not using them anymore. So let's say you get real lucky and like a tier 4 crossbow drops and you've just been rolling with a tier 1, you replace it.
No good.
At one point I had 5 crossbows in my inventory, so I was really, really going to town. And they're not all the same. Some of them it'll be like a steady shot. Some of them will be like a, 3-way shot, more powerful or less powerful. And then, after you complete so much, you get your small unlocks. You can unlock some additional weapons and some perks that you'll be able to purchase throughout the course of the game. God of Weapons. I'm buying it right now.
Oh, really? Did it come out?
It's out now. This was so addictive. I know that I only had to play. You only have to play it long enough to get the gist of the game. I played it for like 45 minutes. I did 3 runs, and I was like, man, this is addictive fun.
God of Weapons.
Also, it's like tilt shifted.
Yep.
So it's like it's definitely different there.
It's not 100% top down, but you know the camera's fixed in the sense that you can't move it around when the level starts. But you know I didn't really have a problem with that.
This isn't a qualitative thing, but it is $5.99, so it is at that right like sweet spot price point of why the hell not? I'll try this.
I am telling you, like if you enjoy. Oh
man, that guy had like 27 crossbows.
Yeah, if you enjoy some Vampire Survivors, but maybe that's a little bit too much for you. This is simplistic. You can learn the rules really fast, and you know it's run based. So you mess up, you do it again.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
$6. I'm getting it. I'm literally. I did it. Alex, I did it.
Live purchasing.
Hey, we've done it before.
Yeah.
Mandatory fun homework, right?
Yep.
But this is for me. It's not for you.
That's okay.
Yeah, so God of Weapons, I highly recommend this. Nice. Don't have to think about it. Yeah. Is there a 4th game in here?
No, I just put that in there so I don't forget to put it in the NetSuite stock.
There we go.
I almost had a panic attack. I was like, we had a 4th game?
No, absolutely not. I couldn't bother with 3.
I was so invested in playing the games that I made it around to. I might die if there was a 4th one. All right. I found my replacement for Vampire Survivors. Let's take a break so I can install this bad boy and play it during the next segment. We'll be right back. Hey News, you know what the statistics are that you'll win the Mega Millions lottery? Let's find out. Ha!
Who was I talking to?
Now we just have...
Do you play the lottery?
No, I don't.
Are
you ready to...
I think Alec told me at one point, he's like, yeah, I played the lottery. I'm like, what? You? Really?
Yeah, you need that lottery money, boy. There's like 50 things. We have to run through all this, don't we?
No, I highlighted the ones that I was interested in.
Alex, don't lie to me. Listen, Linda. I'm going to do what I want. Do we even have freebies?
Yes.
It's on another page? That's how much news we have?
Yeah.
Look, here,
No, it's okay. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Goodbye.
If you just change the font, you got rid of the one thing you wanted to talk about.
Me? I don't want to talk about anything.
You don't want to talk about F-Zero. Let me start at the beginning.
No, he's already pissed about it. Let me pissed about it. I saw
I know,
him in another
but
chat.
you should have the opportunity to talk about it. All right, news. We got tons of news, so we're going to do it all right now. Gearbox might be for sale. How do you feel about that, Alex?
This is more for you, but
why is it for me? Or you think I'm a big fan of Bulletstorm? Yeah, okay.
You reviewed it, and you said how great it was.
Bulletstorm? No, I didn't.
No, what am I thinking
Sir, are you drunk?
What is the Gearbox game you did review?
I don't know.
It was that one that was mildly racist.
I legitimately don't know.
It was that mildly racist one.
I don't think that was a Gearbox game, but I'll tell you that Shadow Warriors 3 was Gearbox?
I believe so, yeah.
I don't know. Hold on. I saw it on sale this week. On Steam.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, Flying Wild Hog. And
sorry, Devolver. What was that, Alex?
Devolver.
Go figure. I don't remember reviewing any Gearbox games. I know that I have enjoyed some Gearbox games in my lifetime.
Number one Borderlands fan.
Oh, I was going to say Godfall.
Oh, Godfall. No one.
Do you
no
want me
one's
to
talking
name?
about.
Do you want me
no one's
to
talking
name
about
more
Godfall.
Gearbox games that you didn't know?
No one's
Have you
talking
actually,
about Godfall.
have you actually played these, or are you just pulling from a
I played.
list on?
I played Bulletstorm and I played Godfall. Godfall was meh. Bulletstorm was, oh man, not fun. It's not that it wasn't fun. It was just like, this is a generic shooter that is trying to be Duke Nukem, but is not.
Is it like 40% less crass? Is that what we're talking about?
The whole trope was that, like, oh, you can do like all these super cool action moves and kill people in dramatic ways. So you'd like boot somebody and they'd fly across the stage into like a thorny bush, and then they'd explode, and it's like, all right, I kicked that guy. Alex, what are you doing over there? I'm kind of worried.
Hanging out. What are you doing?
Talking about how much I didn't like Bulletstorm.
I was looking at some of the other Gearbox games, but the
Okay,
other part
what
of
do you
this,
got?
is the main part of the story is that. Oh, what did I have? I already closed the tab. Duke Nukem. There we go. Duke Nukem. The main part of the story is just the business point where it wasn't Tencent, right? Who was it? No, Joel, it wasn't Tencent. Who was it?
I thought it was Tencent.
Oh, was
I
it?
don't know.
Yeah. Okay,
Or
so
You guys
was
are the
it-
experts?
Embracer
I'm just
Group.
a peasant.
Embracer Group.
Embracer. Okay.
They've been embraced.
Wouldn't you be unbracing somebody?
Well, they were embraced. Now they're getting unembraced. They bought a whole bunch
Do you
of
disembrace?
a bunch of developers, and as it turns out, that's not a good way to make a whole bunch of money.
Really?
Apparently not, especially when all of them are still in the middle of making games and haven't come out with a new one in a while.
Me too.
It
So-
felt like the equivalent of somebody who does the house flipping stuff and is just buying a bunch of property speculatively, expecting the value to go up.
Yep,
And then
it
there's a
doesn't.
market crash, and you
Yeah.
end up having to sell everything at a loss.
And that's what this is. A lot of people are saying is that, like, oh man, they bit off more than they could chew, and then we're like, oh crap, this isn't making any money like we expected it to.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's more what the conversation is in the industry and how it's kind of wild. At the same time, there's also, it's just a lot of like what's going to happen. Since they bought so many developers, there's word of more people being sold off. People are starting to worry. Things like THQ Nordic, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. I like THQ.
Me too. But we're never going to get that fourth mainland Darksiders game.
Oh, that's okay. I still got to play as Strife, so.
I want to be, what's his name? Wait, Strife? Oh, because of the side game.
Yeah.
I want to play Strife in a proper game.
You won't.
Is Pestilence any one of them?
Nope.
No.
No.
It's Fury.
There was War,
Death,
Wrath,
Fury.
Death. Was it Fury or Wrath?
I thought it was Fury. I could be wrong.
It could be Fury. I don't know. I've heard it both ways. We're just
Yeah, that's
picking
it.
random words now.
But they're all real cool, like
Oh, yeah.
super it's way hipper than you think. War has just a giant broadsword. Death has two scythes that are just like two just double blades that when he hooks them together become the giant scythe. Then Fury has double pistols,
No,
and
she doesn't.
oh no, wait,
Aren't they chain knives? Kind of like Kratos.
who am I thinking of? The other one, right?
Strife has guns.
Strife. Okay,
That was the main character, the first one?
No, the
War-
first
it was
one was War.
We got
Okay.
War and Death. War was the first one. Death was the
There's
second
like
one.
a whole story for this. It's crazy. It's multiple games.
Somehow, War accidentally started the apocalypse.
Not
and-
accident. Well, are you ever going to play these games, Joel?
I started the first one before.
All right.
Let's-
Spoilers.
Okay. Yeah, okay, fair.
Mild spoilers. If you ever plan on playing the Darksiders games, go take a walk. It's healthy. It's good for you. It helps you relax. So Death is tricked into
War.
breaking War is tricked into breaking the final seal and unleashing the apocalypse, and then it fast forwards a number of years after
Hundreds of
he
years,
is
something like that.
punished, and he's trying to figure out who made him do it. And it culminates with like a ridiculous fight where the enemy's half the stage, and you're just like riding around on a. Well, you do get your horse. I believe you get your horse in all 3 of the games.
All the games you get horses, yeah.
Yeah.
You get a different horse. And then part 2, your death, who is while War is in prison, you're trying on the other, like in the more mystical side, like because War is on Earth as the apocalypse, and Death is like, oh, I gotta go visit the dwarven city because I want to go find out who was the one that framed my brother, and also there's a corruption that I have to suss out and stop. And then Fury is another thing happening, but they're all happening at this like in tandem.
So it's a lot of fun if you can get into those, longer games where you have to backtrack after you unlock certain items.
Okay.
But so, anyway, that's completely off topic and off tangent.
Yeah.
But you know what's not? How do you feel about this Unity? Unity, these guys that have it's like a platform for your games.
It's an engine.
It's your engine. It's like a car engine, right?
Yep.
It drives. No. That's
Yeah,
not even close.
but the problem is that they charge a licensing fee to use their engine.
But now,
Now they're talking about trying to charge per install. And the problem with that is that there's not a really good way to track it. So they're just saying they would internally just say, okay, you just owe us this amount.
so the hypothetical is, I own a game that uses the Unity engine, right? I have it installed on my computer. I need to free up some space, or let's say I'm going to get a new computer. So the install that I have on this, I either uninstall it or, don't ever do that. But now I install it again at a later date, or when I get my new computer, I install that game again. That would count as then 2 installs.
Yep.
It wouldn't be I own the license once. So I own this game, but now I've installed it twice. So the developer has to pay them twice, even though that's criminal to me, right?
Oh, there's more muddiness,
More
to this.
ridiculousness to it.
So part of it as well is that they specify in the terms of service that they released that it would be the publishers that are the ones charged. So that includes like Nintendo, Microsoft, and other organizations that have used Unity to release games. So in theory, what might be happening at times would be Unity trying to go up to their doorstep and say, fork up. The other wild thing is that for certain games, they don't get charged for it until after they reach a certain install threshold. So it's like they'll use the software, produce the game, they get to 200,000 downloads, and then that triggers the pay up, you owe us X amount of dollars. So it would also make it messy, like you have to now consider like how much do you need to have in the bank to prepare for eating this cost.
Surprise, you're now in debt.
What amount are we thinking? Did they post how much it would cost per install, or they're just kind of like
20 cents an installation once it hits a minimum of 200,000 downloads.
Okay, so if I am a small developer and I am releasing an indie game that I am charging $2 for, but I made the mistake of using the Unity engine, how many copies of the game? You know what? No.
Well,
you're already bankrupt.
I'll do lazy math here. Just
Okay.
the 200,000 downloads at that price, $40,000 once you hit that threshold.
Uh-huh.
So you look back after those downloads, say, okay, $40,000. It's this blanket. I'm assuming all these installs are unique one-time customers.
That's a bold assumption.
And well, I'm saying that like as Unity, they're making the assumption that each of them is a unique person doing the install or
Right.
purchase.
And I'm telling you, that's bad.
And no, I agree, but it also goes back to that we're going to validate all these, and like they've had a litany of walkbacks and some of this stuff, including the idea that we can trace supposedly where these installs come from, and so we're not gonna be double dipping on this stuff because we'll find out somehow. There were also concerns about giveaways, so like those Humble bundles or those charity bundles of games that give away different keys. Well, the fear was, well, if this is part of a bundle and it's a Unity key and that bundle sells like gangbusters, like how quickly is that gonna rub up against that number? And then you consider like when they do discounted games, because a lot of these,
demos. They said count towards this install number.
So your game's not even out yet?
Yeah, one of the things right away was like, well, Steam Next Fest, there's plenty of games in Unity. that
not much longer, I assume.
How much does that need cap events like that?
You are about to really destroy your target audience. Fantastic. So let's all just agree that that's no bueno.
The heartening news is that this is like one of the rare times where there's been a unified front of people just absolute backlash, violent backlash.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not good, just because apparently they had to evacuate the building at there because they had a credible threat at their location.
Oh no.
Yeah, that just came out earlier today. And unfortunately, that's just sort of the nature of the internet and people getting mad. But
what?
Yeah.
Not the internet.
Tensions are high, Getty.
Well,
yeah, I mean, that's not a good solution. But at the same time, we've actually had a couple of these like, oh, everyone is unifiedly pissed as a video game community. The Twitch thing, where Twitch started changing their policies, et cetera, et cetera. We've had a couple of these, but it's more just like interesting to see like, oh man, they really shot themselves in the foot on this one.
I feel like some of this has to be like the same way that the streamers rationalize it, of like, we're going to ratchet up this cost and we may lose people, but the people who are willing to suck it up and pay it will offset it. I'm not. There has to be a logic to it. Like, I understand there are stupid CEOs and executives, but there's some craven financial rationalization there.
I hope that we see a complete walk back on this, because it does not sound like it's fair for people that are using this in the hopes of finally, a lot of the games that we get to play on this podcast are demos, they're indies, they're people that are trying to make it, and this is a death blow, knowing that if you're lucky, it'll only be that much money that you owe. Mm-hmm. And the games may not be sustainable for that long. So what happens?
Games are already really barely sustainable.
Exactly. You go bankrupt, and then who are they going to get the money from after that?
Yeah.
We're already out the door. Hey guys, let's shift to something a lot less serious. Let's have some fun with this podcast. Hades 2 Early Access, Q2 of 2024. I don't know that we have to talk too much on that. Just know that Hades 2 is coming.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And Alex has verbally confirmed that he will complete Hades 2 however many playthroughs he needs to make.
That was never confirmed. That was not a thing.
Yeah.
That was not a thing.
And before that, he's going to go and do it with Hades, the original.
I never said that.
I respect a strong commitment like that.
Yep.
I hate you guys.
I'm not going to play it. That's not true. You're going to play it. You might not enjoy it, but you're going to play it.
I don't know. All those sexy characters I made, I'll play it. Just may not
nice.
finish it.
Somebody'll finish.
They're all so good looking.
Sanabi in final beta. You want to toss anything on there, Alex?
This is just exciting. Just Sanabi's on the way. They had said that they were supposed to, at this point, because they have kind of been very, like, trying to be communicative to the audience. Sanabi is the pixel art 2D platformer game that's very heavily, a very heavy story, cyberpunk story, but you have like a grappling hook arm with an engine on it that's really kind of leads to some bloody kills. But for the most part, it's just really story heavy. It's really fun. I liked it. I played some early access of it. And it's just that with the roadmap, they were supposed to have a release date by now, but have had to walk it back just due to concerns with the market and finding time to finish this game and all this stuff. So, but they are just like giving the update that, hey, this is the final beta. This has everything. This has the ending, the different endings. And really what it comes down to is that it's just the level of polish that they're going to be working on and getting it all done. Especially, they said that the main problem right now was getting it all set up for Nintendo because they want it on Switch.
Okay.
So.
All right. We have a slew of games that went 1.0. Y'all ready for this? Well, first one is Remedium. Went into early access. All right.
Do you know who made that song?
Who?
Quad City DJs.
Were they, in fact, from the Quad Cities?
Maybe.
Do you guys claim that? Is that like your claim to fame?
That were Quad Cities? Or
No,
the Quad City DJs?
Yeah.
Is that what
The second part.
your town is like, we got the Quad City DJs?
No.
Get out of here with that.
We're not. They're from Jacksonville, Florida, for whatever it's worth.
Whoa. Awful. All right, Joel's dying.
Oh.
Axolotl, a.k.a. AK Swaddle, goes 1.0. Yep, that was another one we played on this podcast. Mortal Kombat 1 is coming out, or
Friday.
it will be 1.0 on Friday. Monster Hunter Now, which Alex played in early access, goes 1.0. Get out and do some walking, Alex.
I already did. I did. My dog usually gets a 25-minute walk. She got a 55-minute walk today.
Nice. Did you find all your... I can only assume that they're not Pokestops. They're Monster Hunter stops.
No, I don't think they exist in this.
Sure.
It's just monsters that you're killing repeatedly over and over again.
Just
cool.
monsters. We got Gunbrella, goes 1.0. Noir, play with your food, goes 1.0. Man, that game was trippy.
That was a real weird
That
one.
was something else. Yeah.
What is this? Eternites?
Yep, Enter Knights.
Eternites goes 1.0.
This one we were just excited about. It was like the person who someone who was a big fan of like Persona 5 made one of those.
Cool. Yeah. Check out all those games coming to something near you. Everything, hopefully.
Somehow.
There were two showcases today, a Nintendo Direct and a PlayStation State of Play. The highlights from the Nintendo Direct, since I feel like we're already going a little long on this episode. Holy vajolies. It seems like we're already going to be a little bit long. That's okay. We can still talk about some of this stuff. Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door, 2024. Who's excited for that?
I'll play it.
Yep, I played the first half of Paper Mario 1 on the 64 during COVID, just to understand what that was, and then I played the new Paper Mario, the Origami King,
With the lovely water, the best water I've ever seen in a video game.
It was up there. It was probably the second best water I've ever seen, but it was very, very good.
You take that back.
What's
it was
number
the
one?
best water.
The pirate game that Xbox made?
Oh,
I don't know
what is that? Sea of Thieves?
Sea of Thieves
That?
has really good water.
I don't
Alright.
believe it.
Yeah.
This looked like real water.
My son was very disappointed when he found out that it wasn't a new Paper Mario game.
Really? I thought he'd be hyped to play the classic.
He's like, I'll play it. I think he will play it more as a curiosity to understand why all the internet says that it's not as good as Thousand Year Door. That Origami King, his favorite game, is.
It's more upsetting that you let him read the internet enough that someone complained about why Thousand Year Door is better than Origami King.
It's the scary arena of YouTube comments. So like he'll look up a video of some of the stuff.
You let him read the comments,
Don't
Joel?
let him read the comments.
You tell him never read the comments.
So you're just handing him like the key to the abyss. You're like,
that's what the darkness
here,
hides.
Take it. You're gonna unleash his inner Gollum if you keep this up. No Smeagol, only Gollum. This wonderful child who's still pure and of heart, and now YouTube comments.
Yeah, dude, he was pure until you let him read those.
Well, thanks. Now I'm regretting every choice I've made as a parent.
Just trolling.
I'll play it. I've seen side by sides. It's definitely crisp and clean, and they've updated stuff. But yeah, for the claims that this is the best Paper Mario ever, I'll give it a shot.
I am super excited to finally get to play this. I never got to play Thousand Year Door, and I know that the guys over at Backstage Gaming, there were so many episodes where they talked about how much they loved Thousand Year Door. So that in itself should be go out and get this one.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I know that this one's coming up, Super Mario RPG. I don't think we need to talk about it. I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah.
The hype is real.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I heard they did another trailer, and I heard some of the classic battle music, like with some of these like quirky scenes. I was like, oh man, that was good. The castles and like yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
A whole new generation is going to get to play it. Looks like Detective Pikachu returns October 6th. And then Joel Joel doesn't want to talk about F-Zero 99.
Doesn't feel right, huh?
I mean, I'm not going to complain because it's not going to do anything anyway. I have played the game. I put about an hour into it today, and it works as a battle royale game. It does work, and it can be thrilling and exciting. The problem is that it'll be there until Nintendo decides to delist it from the shop like they've done with other 99 games. So, very transitory. The dream is dead. We will get no more F-Zero games. I mean, like, to me, this is... So, the same thing for me kind of happened with Mario Kart 8 first came out on the Wii U, because one of the big things they touted was, oh, look, these DLC tracks, one will be a couple sets of F-Zero levels. And, yeah, I was like, yeah, that's the closest thing I'm ever going to get to a new F-Zero game now. And, yep, they really set us up for that monkey paw.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Thanks, Nintendo.
No, here's the question. Here's the real
question. I won't ask
question.
you for anything else again.
Joel, here's a real question.
Yeah.
Are you going to continue to play it?
I mean, we'll see. It's these 99 games. I always find like it's a fun thing to dabble in, but it doesn't have much staying power. Maybe out of sheer, I've got no other way to play this kind of game. I might like the futuristic racer genre is really just dormant right now.
I think it's alive in the indie space.
Yeah, but like the Wipeouts are gone. F-Zero's gone.
You should play Tanuki Sunset.
You
should play Tanuki Sunset.
What's Tanuki Sunset?
It's a raccoon on a downhill skateboard. Listening
you
to
should
lo-fi
play Tanuki
beats.
Sunset.
And
I want to drive future cars, Alex. I don't want
You
drive.
know what else you should play? Trombone Champ out today.
Yeah, that was an interesting one for my son to see.
the problem is that they didn't even include any Nintendo songs.
Weird.
So what's the point? I mean, obviously there is a point, but
What's even the point?
The point is that Nintendo doesn't respect them enough to actually give them their music.
Would you?
No.
They're all using like it's not fair use. It's
No, it is
public
it's
domain music. It's
Yeah, it's public domain
domain
music.
is-
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, you ain't gotta tell me I beat the game, Joel.
There's got to be a way that they mod in other music, right? Like the
Oh, with the
PCC.
on the PC, absolutely.
People, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of it. I got videos all day of people modding in different. I got the Dragon Force, the fire and the flames.
Wait, no, you're right.
Nice.
Because I saw a video of somebody doing "Bring Me to Life."
Yeah,
So yeah. Anyway,
All right.
Nintendo Direct was mid.
as the
That's all.
kids say.
As the kids would say. And then
Wait,
PlayStation.
Well, we got the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered. That's pretty cool.
Do you care?
Are you
I think
going to get it?
Yeah, are you gonna get it?
I would, out of curiosity. Give me a good discount. I'll take it.
Really?
The idea for me
Oh.
is that I just want these games to still exist.
Give me a discount.
I want
Which-
these games to still be accessible.
Which Tomb Raiders are these? The original Tomb
Yeah,
Raider?
the originals.
With the pixelated gazungas?
No, but they also have a cleanup mode. You can swap between.
Polygon balloons.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, if that's what you want, Alex, then follow your dreams. Okay?
Yep,
That's
we're
it?
good. Yep.
Okay. PlayStation State of Play. Somebody wrote in Baby Steps. That game looks silly. And we've played games before where you manipulate the way that people walk.
Yep.
And this just looks painful. I mean, I'm sure that it's a lot of fun. And once you get your hands on it, you're like, oh, yeah, I could see why this is going to be entertaining. But the way that they showed this in the couple of minutes maybe of of play, the stepping motions are very deliberate. Like, I'm sure that you have to press a button to lift your leg, extend, and then put it back down.
Oh yeah.
Jetty, did you ever play or hear of Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy?
You
guys told me about it.
Yeah,
we should maybe play that.
we should.
For Extra Life.
Well,
I
Joel's
don't
out.
know. If you'd seen any of that game, you'd know that this is exactly the wheelhouse. It's just like
It's also the same developer.
right. Well, that's what I mean, though. It's like it's awkward movement for the sake of awkward movement, and that is the main hook.
All right.
I mean, also we should talk about that. The person who they tried to make a game kind of similar, Getting Up. Remember that game, Joel? You played?
It's only up, and I think the guy
Only Up.
delisted his game.
He delisted it. Part of
Oh
the
wait, I
reason
thought
was
that's because people were stressed out about it.
No, he was stressed out about it partially because a lot of this because he's like it was just a single man who just kind of made it like on a whim, and he also did it while like kind of taking assets from other games.
Ooh.
And so because of that, he kind of felt real bad about it. He didn't expect it to blow up. It was just kind of like supposed to be like a joke thing. It wasn't supposed to be this huge deal. And then all of a sudden he's like, ah, crap. This could definitely get me sued. And also, I'm just a single developer and I don't, make a lot of money. So all of this is just very stressful. So I'm just going to delist it and take a break.
I have that
Okay.
game.
Yeah. Well, they said that you could still install it, but he
Yeah.
also said that no one else can buy it.
Yeah. It'll be like the Flappy Bird thing. It'll show back up on stores someday.
Someday. Just maybe not as soon as
Joel,
you,
sell your
you think.
PC on eBay.
Oh, because you have a copy of it.
The whole PT thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or again, people with Flappy Bird, you could spend $300 for a phone
I-
with Flappy Bird on it.
I struggle to think that's real. I think that's made up.
I've seen
Yeah.
it.
You've seen
You-
somebody spend $300
I
on a
was
phone.
saying,
No,
you've
I've
seen
seen
a receipt
people-
or eBay postings.
I've seen I've literally gone to eBay and looked it up, and offer up in my area. I've seen a couple of those. But same with PT. I've seen like, hey, do you want PlayStation with PT on it? Here you go.
It doesn't make it right.
Oh, no one said it was all right. So that's ridiculous.
Or even Oh, whatever. Whatever. Let's get to what everybody else really wants to talk about. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer and release date. February 29th, 2024. That's right. We got a leap year. So the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will turn 1 in 2028. Think about that, Alex. Think about that.
I thought about it. I know how leap year birthdays work. I knew somebody who had a birthday on a leap year. They were like 7 or something.
I love the idea that will be 4 years from now, and you'll be able to say Final Fantasy VII Remake is, like 8 years old, that this is only 2.
It'll be the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
In you'll be finally be able to get a discount on it in 2028. Yeah.
What's good?
It looks real good.
I watched a little bit of it while we've been sitting here. If you didn't see that I was distracted. There's segues.
I did not expect
Alex,
Kate Sith to be Irish.
There's segues.
What?
Did I see that correctly?
Was there a segue? I don't remember that.
I saw Cloud on a Segway. Come on.
That's ridiculous. And apparently Kate Sith is Irish. Never got that.
I mean,
I never called him Kate Sith. I always said Cat Sith because I can't read.
Me too.
I just want to make sure I'm not alone in that.
No, you're not. Okay. You're not alone in that.
All right.
That venture. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that they are really going to have to make some decisions here with how the story goes, and to know that it's coming out in 5 months, 5-ish months. They've already made those decisions, so it'll be kind of fun to watch the divergence from the original Final Fantasy VII, and have some new experiences.
It looks like at some point you team up with Sephiroth, and I'm like, man, that looks pretty cool.
I mean,
if you're thinking about the flashback,
but it looks like modern. It looks like modern.
I don't know. It could be the flashback, man.
It could be.
It could be the flashback.
As long as we see Tifa in a cowboy hat.
Oh, you saw that in the first one.
Did I?
You did.
I probably did.
Everybody did.
And she's definitely in the second one.
You should go back and replay the first one.
Absolutely not.
Did you ever play Intergrade?
No.
You should go back and play Intergrade.
You should play Intergrade. You should play Intergrade, especially with its connection to Dirge of Cerberus.
Well, now I'm definitely not going to play Intergrade.
Oh, you need to absolutely play Intergrade.
Is there a boss in Intergrade where you're supposed to die, but then you can actually keep playing it and not die?
But the villain
never ends.
So here's the fun part. You guys played the original, or the remake, Final Fantasy VII Remake, right?
Yep.
And who finished and defeated the Hell House?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure, because I'm pretty sure that you don't have to finish that fight.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Do you? I guess you'll just have to go back and replay it.
I was going to say, Joel, is that the villains from in the Intergrade DLC is the guys from the villains from Dirge of Cerberus.
That's what Alex told me. But also the mini game is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, Joel, do you remember the mini game in Final Fantasy VII where you're like kind of doing tower defense, moving these like statues around?
Mm-hmm.
That is like, you know how like a lot of these games they have like, oh, here's a cool like card game or something.
Yeah.
Here they have like a version of that almost.
Okay. All right.
All right. Freebies?
Freebies.
I guess.
I got all the tabs open.
Freebies.
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 All right, you ready?
Yep.
9/11 Operator on the Epic Game Store.
9/11 Operator, a game about the difficult work of people that manage emergency services, answer incoming calls, and react properly. Give first aid instructions, advise, dispatch the correct number of firemen, police, ambulance, or sometimes just ignore the call. Play any city in the world. This seems stressful.
Yeah.
You're like dealing with like grids and instructions and like giving prompts and assigning staff. This seems
This is 911 operator, which seems like a very different thing than 911 operator.
Getty
I
did
don't know.
say 911 operator.
How's it written?
Never forget. That's how it's written.
No, it's 911.
No, because
there's a hyphen in the freebies section.
this would be 911. 911. Somebody put 911. It's two different things.
It's missing it's missing
It's
hyphen.
missing a hyphen. Thank you. I said 911. I will not apologize because that is what it says here.
You
Punctuation's
apologize.
important here.
You were never supposed to forget.
I never forgot. All right. Steampunk Jigsaw Puzzle over on Steam.
So, you like steampunk?
Sometimes.
Well, what about stagnant steampunk art? Like a
Always.
teapot with gears in it.
That's definitely what I need.
Yeah, well, imagine doing jigsaw puzzles of it. Steampunk jigsaw puzzle on Steam. Also, lots of variations on like there's Arctic Realms with steampunk, Samurai Clan steampunk that are all $2.54 add-on DLCs of all of these little jigsaw puzzles. So enjoy.
Fun. Crumble over on Steam.
Crumble's a dynamic physics platformer. Move like a slime, jump like a ball, swing like a Spider-Man. It's essentially just you're like a ball that just goes very, very fast, and you're going through these obstacle courses, having to react live. Whether you use like slime, use your tongue to grapple hook, shoot down barriers, or jump from track to track as you're going very fast. This would be cool as a Sonic game, honestly. Because you look like the Sonic when he's like spinning in a ball, and it is like it's 3D, but like you're just looking at the back of him, so it's just like he's in a ball going very fast.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes. And the ball here in Crumble is blue, so it very much could just be Sonic. Why don't they make this game?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Cool. Crumble.
Last one. Cypher 8 on Steam.
This is a brain-twisting, minimalist arcade puzzler where you push numbers into a grid and manipulate them with the randomly drawn special abilities. Play blitz mode for frantic combo streaks or analyze every move in your puzzle mode. Essentially, you have a 9x9 grid or a 3x3 grid, meaning 9 spots total, and you just get numbers that you just shove into the sides, knocking others out. This is very complex and complicated. I don't know how this works. Cypher 8. I don't know how this works. Put it on the tin.
I like that. All right. I don't know if this is true, but I'm pretty sure you have a better chance of getting hit by a car, struck by lightning, and maybe even getting like a really bad bacterial infection in the same year than you do to win the Mega Millions. Let's take a break to comprehend that one. We'll be back. And we're back with the Backlog Blog, where we play games with a lot of openings. Hey, let me tell you about Doors. Doors Paradox. We played Doors Paradox on an episode.
You did.
It was a demo at some point.
It's also on a pretty steep discount, so I definitely played some of it. Getty, did you play it?
All the more reason to pick it up and give it a shot. I was feeling a puzzle game. I don't know what it is. Sometimes you just want something to pick your brain, make you think a little bit. And Doors Paradox is a good job of that. There's not too many puzzles that are too obtuse either. It's usually simple point and click, just find different interactables in the environment and then use it to unlock the door and move on to the next area. All the while, there's a cat that's telling you a story through different items that you pick up in the stage. Each one has a little note, and it pieces together a story, but it's not super clear. It's just enough to keep you going. How's that sound?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that accurately describes the game. So, Alex, you have been playing. What have been some of your favorite doors to unlock?
I'm not sure if I have like a favorite door. I'm trying to remember some of the more intricate parts of the puzzle that I thought were interesting. I think that there was some fun ones with like a projector that were pretty fun. Like you get like a projector that has like just like a coded message of possibilities for like an A, B, C, and D letters. And then if you look, there's like a stones A, B, C, and D, and there's like these different dials that you have to turn. But the projector doesn't really initially give you the answer. You have to figure out a separate puzzle that opens up the key to understand which markings you needed. So it was just like that was like one of those like complex. Like I stared at it for like a minute, meaning like I have no clue how to solve these puzzles because it's just like there's so many different variations. And then I kept moving forward on a different side of the door, and all of a sudden it like opened up this second piece that was just, oh, here's the key. How you do it? It's like, oh, okay. Just like, I just needed to be patient and it was going to give it to me.
Yeah. There's times where it's just something that you're looking for, like a knob, and you have to twist it the correct direction, and then it'll give you an item so that you can further progress. Or you'll come across something and you really have to sit down and think about how to solve this puzzle. Sometimes it's just like shapes or colors and then matching them up. And some of the more... So you'll see stuff in games where it's like, all right, you need to line up these items in the correct order so that water can flow through the tubes, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes it'll be like that. Other times it'll be like, okay, you've got a fuse here, and now you have to click the buttons so that all of the lights light up and the fuse resets, what have you. But again, none of them are ever too difficult, or they don't deter you from trying. I do have a favorite door, Alex, and I hope that you have gotten to it. Maybe you haven't. In the second chapter, there's a murder scene.
Oh, I have not, but I only finished the first chapter, but man, that seems cool.
You, one side of the door has the door. It's got a chalk outline of a person, some glass over in one of the corners, and then if you flip it around, it's the interior of what looks to be like an apartment building. So you've got the bottom floor, because there's an elevator. They do these like really cool ways of making the stages shift. So there's an elevator that you go up and down in, but one of them has everybody's mailboxes, and then you go up into somebody's suite. And, you know, you find different items. You sweep the glass away at one point, find a knife, and then you use it to open a chair. Just the way that you interact with everything in the environment, it is relaxing and interesting.
Yeah, and I there's what makes it nice is that it's just 1,000 different aha moments. Just like, oh, cool. Okay, if I shift this thing over here, then it just like this other piece opens up, and that's where the thing I have is. Okay, that's where it goes. Okay, I didn't know that. I will say that there is like a mild anxiety with the game the game is really relaxing, and in fact, it actually put me to bed last night where I was like, okay, I'm literally falling asleep in my chair just solving these like little puzzles, and it's really fun. So I should probably just go to bed. So it's a good wind down for my brain. But at the same time, I also will tell you there is like a mild level of anxiety because they're like, also bonus, there are just 2 little gems, a red and a blue one hidden throughout the level. And I'm like, well, that's fine. And then I've managed to like collect all of them, which is like fine. Like that's good. I feel pumped about that. But at the same time, every time I'm like, I can never miss a gem ever again now. I need to find them all. Which is like, okay, again, whatever. But I also just like, because I'm kind of playing it at night and I'm kind of sleepy, I forget if I found like I usually find the gems like right away. They're not complicated. They're usually just like sitting on the ground. But I keep forgetting whether I found them, so I'm just like, okay, the door's open. I can leave. Did I find
Can you?
Did I find those damn gems? Shoot. Okay, man. Okay, I gotta just like I'm gonna make another pass. I'm just gonna make another quick pass.
You need them for the secret levels.
Oh, do you? Okay. Yeah, I've gotten every single one I've found so far in every level, which is good. But I also there's a little bit every time of hesitating whether I should finish the stage or not because I always forget.
You should definitely go back and double check. I'll tell you right now. I've done the same thing.
Yeah.
But it feels good.
Doors Paradox is great. I think this is definitely like a worthy buy. You know, you could buy 1,000 steampunk jigsaw puzzles, but I think this one is definitely a little bit more of an interactive feature that I have found is like, oh, it's simple enough while also makes me feel good in the old brain.
It's just very polished looking too. Like everything's bright and beautiful. All the levels have great individual themes, and it's all consistent in that way. Clearly, a lot of care taken into its crafting.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. You should play it if you ever get the opportunity.
It's on my wish list. I just need to find a time where I need to scratch that puzzle itch.
Which is frequently.
I'm all itchy for puzzles.
All right. So hopefully Alex and I will be able to take care of Doors Paradox here pretty shortly. Alex has like 15 games he's going to finish in the next week.
Yep.
Don't tell him about it though.
That's the plan.
So I guess we can move on to. Do we have a final segment?
We have one last thing.
We have one last thing. Do you have one last thing for us today, Alex?
I do.
I'm kidding. We all do. All right, one last thing. This week's one last thing is brought to you by waking up at 6 a.m. to buy all the pumpkin donuts from Dunkies and then not eating them. Yeah.
Dunkies?
That was me.
Is that a thing?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, man, you ain't gone to Dunkies?
No.
By the way, I still have your cream cheese.
I know. I'm sorry. Unless you ate it. Did you eat it?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Do you guys trade cream cheese?
No.
It's from when I saw him this weekend. He needed a fridge for it.
I had gone to this wonderful thing called the Work Picnic.
Mandatory fun.
Mandatory fun for me. Not for everybody, but specifically for me. My one last thing is I have a very small window before Lies of P comes out. So I'm going to do it, Alex. I'm going to get you that review for Virgo versus the Zodiacs. And then I'm going to be unproductive and play something else.
I mean, at some point, we got to play Payday 3.
At some point. Yeah. Who has to pay it? Who has to pay the piper? Is it me?
Yeah, it is.
I don't want to pay.
I'll show you.
Anyway.
I surely pay you tomorrow for a hamburger today.
Tuesday. Pay you Tuesday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alex?
So I went to the Slumu Institute, a.k.a. the Slime Museum, this weekend. And what was that?
I said that's a thing.
And it was cool because they had just like different vats of like up to 15 different types of slime. Everything from like what feels like just like Play-Doh to like just like the goopiest stuff ever. And at the end, you got to bring home a sample, but you got to customize it because also with all of these different vats of different slimes that have like sometimes they have the boba little tapioca stuff in them, or again sometimes they're really goopy or not. They also had different varying smells, and then so you could customize it by what type of goop you wanted, then what type of texture, what type of smell, and then the color.
And I could tell you right now, I have icy goop that smells like cookies and cream. Though I do have FOMO. I should have gotten the ginger ale. Because, man,
Really?
the ginger ale smelled real good.
That was a
dead on.
journey.
Yep.
Don't
Joel.
I don't know. I played Vampire Survivors co-op this week. It's very good. We can talk about it at length some other time, but it's very good.
I like that. I'm trying to make sure that that's a thing for Extra Life.
Yep.
I think it's required reading now.
Mm-hmm.
You can do local,
excited.
right?
Yeah, it's local.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought that was the only way to do it.
I think it's up to 3 people right now. I had trouble connecting a 4th person, so.
All right. We can do it with 3.
That's fine.
And one person can sit on the couch and go, ooh.
That'll be me.
All right. And that'll be it for this week's episode of Super GG Radio. Before we go, you can find us on Twitter at I said Twitter.
It's
You can
Twitter.
find us on...
It's Twitter.
It's not Twitter. It's...
This is like the Sears Tower thing. Like, you can change it. It's still Twitter.
Yeah.
All right. At Super GG Radio.
We're also Super GG Radio on Blue Sky.
And twitch.tv/Super GG Radio, where... Hey, Joel, did you ever finish your punishment?
No.
Just checking. Thursdays, we're on hiatus from recording our podcast. You're going to have to listen to it in audio version. Audio podcast. Wednesdays, Joel is finishing Disco Elysium.
Yep.
Just play until it's done.
Just play it.
Wednesday, Disco Elysium. Saturday, almost done with Escape Academy. We're on the last one. And then Sunday, I will finish my punishment.
I will specifically set time aside to watch.
Okay.
It is just so much fun to watch.
Same
Okay. Be
People play that.
prepared Sunday evening then.
All right.
I will continue to play Monster Hunter Rise on Mondays. I stopped because
Whoa.
I can't...
Read what I wrote.
Scrolling down. Mondays, Alex is getting a rise in Monster Hunter. No.
Yes.
And I will come back to it. I didn't really want to stop playing Sea of Stars because Sea of Stars is really good. So I was like, well, I'm just going to keep playing Sea of Stars. But I'll come back to Monster Hunter Rise because I'm really excited because I'm playing Monster Hunter now. Skater XL is still on hiatus because, again, they still have not figured out the mod situation. This usually takes a month.
They broke the game.
Well, you know, they just updated. They don't update very often. They update the game like twice a year.
It's broken.
And so it broke all mods.
It's not actually broken, it's fixed, but all your mods are broken. All right.
Yep, there you go.
Maybe next week we'll have Alec back. Yeah. And then we can talk about Subnautica.
Hope so.
Guys, we got to start getting ready for a spooky game.
Yeah,
We
Joel,
need to
finish
dedicate-
Subnautica. Get to the part in Subnautica.
That part?
That
Okay.
part where you escape.
Where I escape.
No.
The Subnautica.
Didn't you say that you were going to make a real effort to finish?
I did.
And
I did.
and
There's no and.
okay. Fair enough. If you'd like to reach us with questions or input, our email address is mail@superggradio.com, and provide us a review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. Thanks for listening, and good game, Alex.
Drinkpoggers.com. Offer code good game.
You heard him. Go drink poggers. And good game, Joel.
Good game.